Okay, let's have a look at how we can use Excel to do some good GIS. So the example here, I've got some places around where I live. I've got a column with dates in. I've then got two columns of data. It doesn't really matter what the data is, but I've just got two examples here. And then I've got lat and long. Now I could have got this from Google Earth or Google Maps. If you right click on the screen, it'll give you the lat and long of a place, or I could have just used an app or something. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to highlight the data, just make a nice little table. I'm going to go to the data tab at the top and then data model. Now if yours looks slightly different, just try and find those two headings. So data tab, data model, and then it's 3D map is what you need. You might have a tour already. That's sort of a page. It's called a tour. You might have a few of those already if you've used it before, or if you haven't, you might just have a blank page like that. So I'm going to start a new tour, and then it'll open up 3D maps, and then it's got my information on the right hand side. It's got the layers I need on the right hand side, the lat and the long, and everything I need. So if I zoom in, I can see this is my data here. It doesn't look great at the moment. These are just huge, massive squares. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click flat map at the top. Okay, this just goes from sort of the globe into a flat map, which is a bit easier if I want to print something out. I don't really want to show that curvature. I can put map labels on and off at the top here, this button. I'll put them off for the moment. So it's already picked up latitude and longitude. If it didn't have those, I would have to add them. So here they are, lat and long. I would just left click and drag them into the locational field. And it's already worked out that my column heading saying latitude is latitude. If it didn't, I'd have to manually select it here. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Actually, I'll leave the field list open. Now the height of my graph, because it's going to make a 3D graph, remember, it's all in the name Excel 3D graphs or 3D maps. The height I'm going to have litter. So let's put litter in. Okay, and I can close this like that. And then lo and behold, it's made some bar charts that are in 3D, and I can pan around using the controls at the bottom. If I click on layer options at the bottom right, I can then change the height of them. I can also change the thickness, and you can faff around with those. I can change the color of them, so I could have red bars if I wanted. As you can see, that's quite useful to sort of analyze data, especially this sort of this panning feature that you can go around. But there I've got a 3D bar chart. Okay, what else can I do? I can do circles. So at the top here, actually I'm on stacked graphs there. I'm on cumulative graphs bar charts. So what I'll do is in height, I will add another field. I'll add, as well as litter, I will add noise. And as you can see now, if I just change the angle a little bit and zoom in, you can see that is now a stacked or cumulative bar chart. Okay, so I've got two different colors. Orange is noise. I can click on those. It'll tell me the values, and I can actually read that off. And red is litter, so that's stacked. So I could have an individual one, or I could have stacked. Let me just remove noise, because if I want circles, proportional circles, I can only do this with one characteristic. I can't have proportional size and color, unfortunately, in Excel. So I'm just going to make these a little bit smaller so I can see them. I'm also going to hover above them. There we go. And then I can change the height of them as well, so they almost look like cylinders if I wanted to. And I can also, let me put back in noise, I can actually make pie charts. So I can have sort of these proportional sized pie charts. So the size of the chart, the size of the pie, is actually the total of the two categories, as well as being broken down into the red and the orange colors. Okay, so there's a couple of things I can do with that. I can also add in time, so I can put the date in, and as you can see, the date is up here in the top left. I can move this around. I can right click and edit it, and I can just have the date. I can change the color and the size and the font. And here where it says 10 seconds on the cog, or up in scene options, I can actually change the length of this movie I'm going to make. So it was on 10 seconds. I want a quicker version. I'll make a 3-second one. And then when you press play in the bottom left-hand corner, the pies actually pop up as the calendar clicks through. So you can sort of show, geospatial data, but you can also have a time element to it, which I do think is pretty cool. Okay, so that's how you can do 3D pie charts and bar charts using latitude and longitude. Hope that was helpful. Okay, bye-bye.